Massive Northern California fire gets even bigger. Fire stoked by hot and windy weather raged through a forest in far Northern California on Thursday. In mountain communities east of Los Angeles, calmer conditions aided firefighters on the lines of a suspected arson wildfire that forced thousands of people to flee. Wildfire smoke covers the landscape Thursday, July 26, 2018, in Idlewild, Calif. A fast-moving wildfire tore through trees, burned several homes and forced evacuation orders for an entire mountain town as California sweltered under a heat wave and battled ferocious fires at both ends of the state. AP photo, Marcio Jose Sanchez, Redding, Calif. AP, firefighters battling a huge wildfire in Northern California kept it from doing more damage to the city of Redding, but 3 smaller communities were in danger as flames closed in and residents packed up to leave. The fire grew by about 35% overnight to 127 square miles, 328 square kilometers, and pushed southwest of Redding, toward the communities of Ono, Igo and Gas Point. The winds that aided firefighters in keeping the flames from more populated areas were propelling it forward at a frightening rate. "We're not getting a break with the weather," said Chris Anthony, a spokesman for CAL FIRE, the state agency responsible for fighting wildfires. "It just continues to be really hot, really dry, and we continue to get those winds. This fire is getting so big and there are so many different parts to it." The so-called car fire was ignited Monday by a vehicle and exploded Thursday night, jumped the Sacramento River and pushed into Redding, about 250 miles 402 kilometers north of San Francisco and the largest city in the region with about 92,000 residents. 2 firefighters were killed and the latest tally of 500 destroyed structures was sure to rise. About 37,000 people are under evacuation orders, 5,000 homes are threatened and the fire is just 5% contained. Elsewhere in California, large fires continued to burn outside Yosemite National Park and in the San Jacinto Mountains east of Los Angeles near Palm Springs. Nationally, 89 active large fires have consumed nearly 930,000 acres in 14 states, according to the National Interagency Fire Center. So far this year, nearly 37,000 wildfires have burned more than 4.25 million acres. The car fire destroyed nearly all of Keswick, a hamlet just west of Redding. One of the homes lost belonged to Shyla and Jason Campbell. Jason, a firefighter, was 6 hours away from his home and family, battling a wildfire near Yosemite Valley, when the car fire moved in with devastating speed. "It's huge flames, it's coming up the hill, and everyone's out and we are watching it, then it goes down, and everyone's like, oh it's going out," said Shyla, 32. "And I'm like, no, it's going down the mountain and it's going to come back up the next ridge." She was right. The family spent the night at a hotel. When Jason Campbell returned on Friday, he found their home of 5 years was gone, along with an RV and a boat. "It's tough," Shyla Campbell said Friday as she sheltered in the city of Shasta Lake. "I just have to figure out where we're going to stay. We're just trying to stay away from the fire." Thousands of people scrambled to escape amid flying embers before walls of flames descended from forested hills onto their neighborhoods Thursday. At least 2 flaming tornadoes toppled trees, shook firefighting equipment and busted truck windows, taking down everything in its path, said Scott McLean, a spokesman for CAL FIRE. The flames moved so fast that firefighters working in oven-like temperatures and bone-dry conditions had to drop efforts to battle the blaze at one point to help people escape. 2 firefighters were killed, Redding Fire Inspector Jeremy Stoke, a bulldozer operator whose name wasn't immediately released. He was the second bulldozer operator to die in a California blaze in less than 2 weeks. Residents who gathered belongings in haste described a chaotic and congested getaway as sparks flew and fire leapt across the wide Sacramento River, torching subdivisions in Redding. Redding Police Chief Roger Moore was among those who lost their homes. Greg and Terry Hill evacuated their Redding home of 18 years Thursday night with little more than their medications, photo albums, clothes and firearms, assuming they'd be back home in a few days. When they returned Friday, virtually nothing was left but fine particles of ash. It was so hot, they couldn't walk through it to see if anything survived. It's pretty emotional, Terry Hill said. I know it's just stuff. A lot of memories. But we'll make new memories and get new stuff. Everybody's safe. The Hills fled before they were told to, knowing danger was afoot when the power went out and helicopters suddenly began flying low overhead. Liz Williams loaded up 2 kids in her car and then found herself locked in bumper-to-bumper traffic with neighbors trying to flee from Lake Reading Estates. She eventually jumped the curb onto a sidewalk and booked it. I've never experienced something so terrifying in my life, she said. I didn't know if the fire was just going to jump out behind a bush and grab me and suck me in. Fire officials warned that the blaze would probably burn deeper into urban areas before there was any hope of containing it. So far, the car fire has either changed direction or was stopped before it burning into Reading's city center. Gill reported from San Francisco. Associated Press writers Noah Berger in Reading, Olga Rodriguez and Janie Har in San Francisco, Don Thompson in Sacramento, Amanda Lee Myers, Brian Melly and John Anchak in Los Angeles, and Alina Hartunian in Phoenix also contributed to this report. Copyright 2018 The Associated Press. All rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, written or redistributed.